Marketing Edge on TV is Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute awesome package that comprises brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix, encompassing thorough and in-depth analysis aimed at promoting the brand idea. My name is Bababumi Agbibi. Welcome to the program.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
We begin with brand news, where we bring you the latest developments around brands and in the field of marketing and advertising in Nigeria and around the world. Nigeria's advertising industry stepped away from business pressures over the weekend as OAN and MIPAN brought practitioners together for the 4th edition of their annual health walk in Lagos. Held to mark World Environment Day 2026, the event combined fitness, networking, and environmental awareness. OAN President Shola Akinshiku said the initiative highlights the industry's responsibility to promote both personal well-being and environmental sustainability.
Without the environment, there won't be out of home. Structures, platforms running to billions of naira in investment, even dollars in investments are all out there. And one critical thing we do for the mega sites, mega structures, is to even have a report on the impact on the environment. They say environmental impact report. So it impacts on the environment and the environment impacts on business. So it's we have so much to do with the environment, to ensure that, for instance, our structures do not cause or enhance or engender erosion, and to also ensure that the environment, the weather movement does not impact negatively on our structure. So,
meanwhile, MIPAN representative Eke Adzufe described the exercise as an opportunity to strengthen industry relationships while encouraging healthier lifestyles.
We exercise together and we take a theme for the year in relation to any of the health things that are happening all over the year. So we take a walk and you see that both old, young and all that, and it's something that we are looking at for a long haul because it's interesting and it's good. It does not only speak well of us as collaborators, but it also helps health-wise.
Other stakeholders, including the former president of OAN, Emmanuel Ajufor, also stressed the importance of regular exercise, especially for professionals who spend long hours behind office desk.
4 years ago, we came together to talk about our health because it's not just about walking and walking. We hear about people slumming here and there. And so we decided to include this as one of the activities in our calendar. But we also say we should tie it to something that is happening in the world. That is the intention, to keep our members fit. A lot of us here are oldies, and if we're able to do this work, you can then be rest assured that it's helping us stay fit.
It's to test our fitness level. Most times when in the office, we're sitting down, we're going for meetings, all sitting down. So this is an opportunity for us to come out and test our strength, health strength. And from there are going to be other activities. So when you find yourself lacking, then you know you have to go for a physical checkup. But this one is just to test our fitness level.
Medically, it's said that you need to stretch your legs as you get older because your legs carry the bulk of your weight. And as you get older, your legs become muscles, you lose muscle mass and all that, but you need to now stretch your legs, walk so that you can you can improve your muscle and tone your muscles and get your general framework put together. So it's if you don't tell yourself, your body will tell you at a point.
Meanwhile, organizers say the health walk is steadily becoming a symbol of wellness, collaboration, and environmental responsibility across Nigeria's marketing communications industry. As political activities gradually build ahead of Nigeria's next elections, media agencies may not see the traditional campaign spending boom. According to QVT Media CEO and MIPAN Vice President Brenda Nwagwu, says brands, not politics, will likely remain the major growth driver. Meanwhile, despite economic pressures, she points to rising business confidence and a more stable exchange rate. Nevertheless, she urges industry players to focus on long-term value creation while adapting to changing market realities. The Coca-Cola Company has launched a major global review of its media operations, setting up another high-stakes contest between WPP and Publicis Group. Meanwhile, the beverage giant is reassessing its media, data, technology, and AI-driven capabilities as it seeks new ways to engage consumers in an increasingly digital marketplace. Furthermore, the review comes as WPP's 5-year global partnership approaches renewal, while Publicis enters the race with growing momentum following recent wins within the Coca-Cola business. Without doubt, the outcome could reshape one of the world's biggest advertising accounts, valued within a global marketing spend exceeding $4 billion annually.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
That was brand news. Next is branding focus after this break.
Every day, millions of Nigerians walk past your next customer. The question is, can they see you? Nimbus Media puts your brand exactly where Nigeria is already looking. High-impact digital screens inside shopping malls, supermarkets, gyms, and the busiest locations across Nigeria. From billboards to brand activations, we make sure you show up and show up boldly. We've helped brands launch, grow, and become the name people remember in the moments that matter the most. Your audience is already out there. It's time they found you. Nimbus Media. Visibility. Done right. Book your campaign today at nimbus.com.ng.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Now, brand in focus. As AI reshapes marketing, consumers are taking the lead. While 70% welcome AI for convenience and personalized offers, many express unease when automation feels too intrusive. Younger audiences in particular demand authenticity and cultural relevance, showing skepticism towards AI-only campaigns. Experts say the future lies in a hybrid approach where AI handles speed and skill, while humans ensure creativity, emotion, and local context. This means that in markets like Nigeria, brands that balance technology with human insight stand to gain trust and engagement as consumers want innovation that feels personal without invading privacy. In an era saturated with advertisements, innovative brands are redefining marketing by engaging consumers through interactive campaigns that foster emotional connections and meaningful engagement. By moving beyond traditional advertising, these brands are transforming transactions into memorable experiences, cultivating a loyal customer base that actively supports their products and services. Marketing experts note that interactive campaigns make customers feel integral to the brand, creating moments that resonate and are remembered. By leveraging content marketing, brands humanize their identity, allowing customers to relate directly through participation in events or conversations. Several brands have successfully implemented such strategies. One company invited users to customize and showcase their own product designs, offering winners the chance to see their creations transformed into an official collection. This approach attracted significant attention from millennials and became a hit. Another brand utilized quizzes as an interactive marketing strategy, asking users to choose their favorite dishes, revealing their flavor personas. This tactic engaged millennials eager to explore new cuisines, boosting brand awareness and customer engagement. Similarly, a global beverage company launched a campaign allowing customers to personalize bottles with their names, encouraging fans to seek out and share their unique bottles on social media. This simple yet effective idea transformed customers into active participants in the brand storytelling. These initiatives highlight a broader trend, building deeper connections between brands and consumers. Interactive experiences provide consumers with a sense of agency and belonging, turning them from passive observers into brand advocates. As technology continues to evolve, the opportunities for brands to engage audiences will expand. The brands of tomorrow will invite customers not only to see their story, but also to live it, making it essential for brands to involve customers in their narratives.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Next is Industry Conversation, where we discuss with industry thought leaders who have distinguished themselves and have made tremendous impact in their chosen field. Today, my guest is the former Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Double One PLC, formerly known as Mobil Oil Nigeria Limited, Adetunji Oyebanji. Join us after this break.
Every day, millions of Nigerians walk past your next customer. The question is, can they see you? Nimbus Media puts your brand exactly where Nigeria is already looking. High-impact digital screens inside shopping malls, supermarkets, gyms, and the busiest locations across Nigeria. From billboards to brand activations, we make sure you show up and show up boldly. We've helped brands launch, grow, and become the name people remember in the moments that matter the most. Your audience is already out there. It's time they found you. Nimbus Media. Visibility. Done right. Book your campaign today at nimbus.com.ng.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
On Industry Conversation today, my guest is the former Managing Director, Double One PLC, Adetunji Oyebanji. That's formerly Mobil Oil Nigeria Limited. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.
45 years of remarkable journey, and this is retirement. What emotions define this moment for you?
Okay, thank you very much. Again, it's a pleasure to be on the feature this morning. Your question is quite interesting. What I would say is that after 45 years, definitely it comes with a lot of mixed feelings. But at the same time, people always say that Christmas never catches anybody unawares. It's always December 25th. So you know that even if it's 50 years, 100 years, a day will come when you have to retire. So I think the key really is to get yourself mentally ready and prepare for it so that, you know, when it comes, you'll be able to flow with it naturally. So that is what I would say my case is.
When you started in 1980 as a marketing representative trainee, did you ever think that you'd become a managing director someday?
Again, a very interesting question. I recall that at the time I was being interviewed, one of the questions, I think it was the last question they asked me during the interview, they said, okay, you want to join our company. How far do you think you can go in the company? And my response to them was, okay, how far can a Nigerian go in the company as it is? And at that time, the highest ranking Nigerian was the marketing director. So when they told me that that was the position, I told them, well, that is where I want to reach. I think the other thing that is interesting in my career was that when you hear 45 years, you might assume I never tried to leave the company. I did on several occasions. On one occasion, I was to go and join a colleague of mine who wanted to set up a business. So we had talked about it and we were part of the planning. And the idea was that both of us would leave and we would go and set up the company. Interestingly enough, towards the end of it, he said, you know what, and this I must say must have been about 30 years ago. He said, you are going to become the MD of this company. I don't think you should leave to come and join me. At that time, it led to a bit of some, let's say, rancor between us, because that hadn't been the plan hitherto. But
I abided by it because he said that is what he believes. But interestingly enough, about 5 years later, another entirely different colleague, also working, who had decided to leave, also said that, he believes I'm going to become the MD of the company one day. Again, like I said, this was maybe 25 years now before the event actually happened. And then there was also another time where I had actually gotten another job. I was about to resign and tender my letter to leave. And the day I was to tender that letter, I was called by the HR manager, and I was told that I was being posted to the United States for assignment for 3 years. So at that point, I just concluded that, wait a minute, maybe this is where God wants me to be. All these my attempts to try and leave, somehow one thing or the other is happening, and I decided to stay, and that is what really happened.
Interesting. Throughout your career, you witnessed multiple economic shifts, policy cycles, industry disruptions. Which period tested your leadership the most?
Well, I would say there are several, but if I try and remember, I would say one, the transition from what was then Mobil Oil Nigeria PLC to Double One PLC. Essentially what happened at the time was that ExxonMobil, that owned 60% of Mobil Oil Nigeria PLC, sold its interest, that's 60% of the company, to a company called NIPCO Investments. And there was a whole big transition, new owners taking over. And I found myself in a situation where hitherto I'd been chairman and managing director of the company, and now we had a new owner, new ownership. So it had so many different facets to it. We are dealing with a new principal, a new stakeholder, so getting used to how that person is and how that business runs. But most importantly was the staff. There was a lot of uncertainty. A lot of the staff were not sure about the future. So getting them, and in fact, at that time, about 20 of our senior managers decided to leave overnight, just put in their letters and decided to leave the company. So it was very challenging. One had to earn the trust of not only the new owners, but of the staff, because I recall at the day the transition was announced, one of our staff stood up and asked me, "Well, what about you? Are you going to be here with us when all this is happening? You've talked to us, said these new owners are good people and whatever." So I think he was worried at the time that maybe I'm just going to also pack my bags and disappear. So that I would say tested me. Another area that I can recall was a similar incident, but this time Mobil Oil Cameroon. Mobil Oil Cameroon, ExxonMobil also sold its interest in the company to another player entirely. And I was sent there to help manage the transition. This is much earlier, before the one involving Mobil Oil Nigeria. And in Cameroon, there was a great deal of strong unionism. There was a lot of pressure from the unions because, in fact, when Shell did a similar exercise where they sold their interest to a new party and new owners took over, the people who came to announce the transition were actually kidnapped by the staff in that country. So it was a very big deal. And I was thrown into the middle of this. I was the person who was now in between ExxonMobil and the staff. And don't forget, Cameroon, they speak a lot of French compared to us. So here I was, a stranger, having to negotiate and take people through, keep my principals in ExxonMobil happy in the process. But at the end of the day, I think we were able to succeed, and we were able to carry carry out the exercise. I think the other two things that I might say was during the COVID period, when we had to manage this, ours is an operational company. Without petrol, people can't move.
Yes.
So we still had to even while COVID was going on, get people how to load products, how to keep people safe in doing that because of the health challenges and all that, interface with the law enforcement agencies because nobody was supposed to move, everybody was to be at home. So we were able to manage that. And one more, let me just add that one, was during the whole issue of subsidies, when subsidy regime was in play. The first challenge we had was that my own company, my principals said, well, if you are going to buy petrol from us and government will not pay you for the subsidy for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. In fact, at some point, they were owing people 7 months, 8 months before they reimbursed the subsidy. Because what happens is that you have to order the petrol, maybe at 500 naira, but government says you must sell it at 400 naira. So the idea is that government reimburses you the 100 naira at the end of the day. That was what the whole issue of subsidy was about, because then people used to think we used to pocket the subsidy money. It wasn't, it was reimbursement. So my own principles, my company said, sorry, we cannot support you in that. So we were faced with a big dilemma, almost that we'll have to shut down because we can't get petrol. My people said no. So I devised a means whereby I got a third party who would supply us on the basis that we will only pay him the balance when government pays us, whether it's 6 months. So they agreed, the suppliers agreed, and that was how we were able to survive that period. So many other instances. I'll throw one more in as extra for you, was when I was in charge of the northern operations, and there was a very big riot in Kano. I was based in Kano, and you know, where our office was located was a very volatile and dangerous area. So all of a sudden I had to make the decision about 100 staff that work there, how I would accommodate them, put them in hotels in safe parts of town and whatever. And because of the short time and whatever, I had to take those decisions even without getting head office approval. So, you know, lots of instances where I had challenges, but we thank God we were able to surmount all of them.
During your tenure, what achievements are you most proud of, not just as a chief executive officer, but as a custodian of an institution with a rich legacy?
I think that transition is, I think, something that when I say transition, I'm talking about
Mobil
to Double One PLC, because as I had explained earlier, there were a lot of things that went into it, but I think most importantly, the importance of gaining the trust of your colleagues and staff, and also the trust of the new investors. You know, so that was something I was proud of. I was proud of what we did also in Cameroon. I think I've explained that to some details. So I think there are quite some instances. We also set up the relationship with Mr. Biggs. That was the first of its kind at the time, where we rented out space to Mr. Biggs, USC Foods at the time, you know, and today when you go to petrol stations, you see many people have eateries attached to the stations. What we did with Mr. Biggs was the first of the kind in the industry, and it's something we look back at with a great deal of pride.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
The conversation continues on our website at www.marketingedge.com.ng and all our social media handles at Marketing Edge. Many thanks for watching. My name is Bababumi Agbibi.